Hello, good evening. Hello, everyone. Namaste. Welcome. Suswagatam. Jai Hind. Thank you for joining us for episode number 118 of our Expert Talk live show. I am Vipul M. Mali and I am thrilled to welcome you to this highly anticipated session on a topic that many of us can relate to, that is dealing with mid career crisis. So today we have a very special guest with us, someone who brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in transforming career and organizations. Please join me in welcoming Raja Chidambaram. Namaste, welcome on the show. Yeah, can you hear me, sir? The voice is just a second. Hello, yeah.
No, you
Namaste.
have muted me. That's
Yeah,
why.
namaste. Welcome on the show.
Okay.
Thank you for accepting our invitation and joining us on this evening to discuss about how to deal with mid-career crisis. So, audience, I am your host today, Vipul M. Mali, founder of Post Resume HR Consultancy, and we provide we provide recruitment services across India and Africa, particularly for middle to senior management positions in IT, engineering, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, and textile industry. And additionally, we offer job assistance through resume writing, LinkedIn profile optimization, and career coaching. And we believe that sharing is caring. And the purpose of this expert talk show is to bring in industry experts who will join us on live show to share their experience with all of us to help us with career insights. So do subscribe our YouTube channel, Bipul the Wonderful, and press the bell icon to get the regular updates for our live events.
Mm.
So about speaking about our expert of the day, Mr. Raja Chidambaram. So Raja enables transformation in individuals and organizations. The areas he works in are nurturing leadership, enabling change, facilitating spaces. His practice of 3 decades is rooted in classical OD organizational learning theories and theory U. Raja dreams of building an ecosystem of thinking environment practitioners in India, and he is leading that by example. He himself follows that. We all are watching this live session sitting in an AC temperatured room, but he is not using it. He follows the environment. He follows in sustainable practices, and that's something leading by example. So that's great, Raja. And you can check his profile, LinkedIn profile. You can follow him. You can DM him for any help, any support, any guidance. He would be happy to help you anytime
Yeah.
and every time. So yeah, that's really great. And tell us something more about you and your journey till now.
Okay. So I think you have said everything, but if I have to tell what is the journey, I come from a business family, mm, and I did very well in my college in physics. I was the topper.
Wow.
Then chose to go and work with my father, and then I learned a lot about how to treat people. But the most interesting thing is, after my father died, I was 29. I was doing consulting, and those days I was in Chennai. I was making no money. But my father had enough money to fund me. Okay, that's a beauty. So if you look at, I'm talking about 19, yeah, decent time, right? I'm 56 now. I could do what I'm doing today because my father funded me. And I came from a business family, so I didn't think that my monthly salary is important. So, so that's one. And then after that, also, I have, after my father died, like very relevant to our topic. One day I was lying down in that house. I was depressed after my father died, 6 months, and then one day, like what in Sanskrit we call it asari, right? Something came to me in my mind which said I have to churn myself and create wisdom and knowledge for the world to do good. So I told my mother I'm not going to be in business and came to Bangalore. This was 1988. So this probably is very relevant to the topic. Yeah. So yeah, now if you want to know more about me, I do executive coaching and I do life coaching. I do all kinds of coachings, and then I do leadership training for big companies. And then apart from that, I'm also, I think, Vipul talked about time to think. Time to think is something that I have been fascinated with recently. It's an approach which says that how do you help people to think independently from childhood? Because most of the time we don't think independently. We are thinking to please people from school, right? If my teacher wanted this answer, I will give that answer. So that's probably my new toy I'm playing with. And I believe, yeah, next 7, 8 years is going to be building an ecosystem of time to think. So in some sense, that's what it is. And yeah, I live in Bangalore, not in Bangalore. I live in rural Bangalore,
Wow.
where I have good air to breathe and live a better life. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
done, Mukul. Yeah,
That's inspiring. That's inspiring and not touchy. Loss of father is a biggest loss for anyone in this world, and I'm sorry to hear that. And great. So that's something fascinating that you
mm,
live in rural India, the heart of, which is the heart of India, heart and soul of India, as we
yeah,
say. So that's really great. And yeah, so audience, you can definitely ask your question, and you, as Mr. Raja said, you can connect with him for the executive coaching and one-on-one coaching. He'll be happy to help you in that. So you can connect with him on LinkedIn and follow him, and yeah, that's and you can also ask your live questions. We'll be happy to cover them
yeah.
during the session if relevant to the topic. Starting with the very first question as the topic of the day, what is mid-career crisis? As we say, how to deal with mid-career crisis, but what is that actually?
Yeah. Okay. So, mm, so midlife crisis is very simple. Okay. You are in a role, you're doing something, your interest has fallen down. It becomes boring and you're like dragging into what you do. So that is first level. Second level, at a deeper level, you start having a confusion about am I doing the right things? Yeah. And worst I have seen in my one-on-one coaching or even friends, conversation with friends, they'll say, why did I choose software as a path? And they're asking this question when they're 40s, right? So they start wondering, have I chosen the right thing? Maybe it's because of parental thing or whatever. The person would have loved to become a musician, but then became a software engineer, right? So suddenly there is a lot of question about, is this the right thing to do? And I think next thing is, in some sense, people get into a question of, will it take me to the place where I want to go? When I die, will I be there in that place? So that is what is midlife crisis. But I want to also talk about the word crisis, right? Crisis is a short-term phenomena, okay? Short-term phenomena of chaos and instability. Even if you look at it in the world, right? When crisis comes, everything will break. But the beauty is it leads to a new order and a new stability. It comes to tell us enough, move into a new game. So that is what the midlife crisis, according to me, is. And yeah. So I would stop there.
Right. So you have rightly said that what is crisis and exactly what is mid-level, mid-career crisis. But who generally gets affected by this mid-career crisis?
So if you look at in India, midlife crisis used to hit people after mid 50s at some point. Okay. Now, in my coaching and conversations, I'm saying it is hitting people at mid 40s and mid 50s. And I have even seen people in mid 30s getting affected. So, so it's very interesting because why it happens is that we're going to talk about it, right? In say 30 years back, 40 years back, you had even the economic reality has impacted it. The socio-economic difference has also impacted. Nobody will talk about midlife crisis, say 20 years back till then 55, or they didn't talk about it till they retired also. So it's a very, very different phenomena now. Yeah.
Yeah, you rightly said that to to realize that you are in crisis or you are in a difficulty, that is more important thing. Then you will feel that yeah, I am affected, and you can find out someone, mentor or some help, or find out some solution and get out of it. But you need to realize that thing. That is very important. That is rightly said. So we must be aware about the symptoms. If I have a headache, then I know that there is a pain
Yeah.
here. So what are the
Mm.
symptoms of mid career crisis? If anyone wants to check, or parameters or symptoms, then how one can check or one can realize?
So first thing I have seen in people I have coached one on one, they get into procrastination. They are in a role in a company. Suddenly, it's like suddenly mind start wandering and they're procrastinating. Okay. Second thing I have seen very, very strongly is both personal and professional. Okay. They start overthinking. What it means is they're not acting, they're thinking. And they're thinking about every nonsense that is possible. Yeah. So what it means is they become fearful. Second is they also become very cynical about people and the world. See, fear is related to what will happen to me, right? But cynical is the world is bad, country is bad, no software company is good, right? You project the world is bad, okay? But the truth is, the question is at this time, self doubt creeps in. So the questions people go through is, am I good enough? Am I in the right place? And this increases if they don't have enough connections and contacts, and if they are lonely and isolated. If they have friends, if they have, yeah, even family, right? I don't know. In family, you can't even talk about it. But if you have friends and mentors and everything, you are not feeling suddenly, I'm in this game, right? That literally increases the intensity of the whole game. Yeah.
Does inferiority complex has to do anything with this symptom, this mid career crisis?
See, inferiority complex, all of us have. Okay. When we fall,
You
all of us
accept it or
see.
not, but all of us has
Yeah.
have that.
So there is this whole article I have written in Medium, which we talk about as I don't know the name I forgot. Uh, yeah, it's called yeah, leave it. So even if you are CEO, you have inferiority. Okay, and since you asked me this question, I'm giving you a straight answer. Inferiority and superiority come from the same source. Okay, if I feel inferior, I'm accepting I'm useless. If I'm operating superior, I know I'm inferior, so I have to mask it. So
So it's up to you how you are taking it. It's half glass full or half glass empty. It's all about
beautiful.
attitude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
true, true. Very, very well said. So, yeah, the next question is, what causes the mid career crisis?
Okay. So so when I talk about mid career crisis, I would want to go to a little more into that has psychology part. Mid. So let me tell you, the moment I have a one-on-one coaching engagement, anybody who's 40 plus now, they will say this is what that person has to improve, all that, right? I know very clearly it is midlife crisis. So if you look at pure psychology, there is a person called well-known psychologist called Freud. Okay, so what he says is, at a point, he writes, man. Okay, he says you feel like no more the man you were. It's even related to sexuality, everything. Okay, so when you talk about midlife, mid-career crisis, there is something called midlife crisis. Both come together. Yeah. So when he says you don't feel like a man anymore, even in your sexual life, you are not the same person. Your body doesn't feel the same. Okay. Because body, mind, soul, everything is related. Yeah.
True.
So the key thing I have seen in terms of midlife crisis is suddenly you realized I wanted to be this at some point of my life, and I'm not there. That is one. But the interesting thing I have seen since I worked for last 30 years in this field, now, like I told you, previously it used to be in mid 50s and all. Now it is coming to mid 30. It is because of financial freedom. I have made money. I have tons of money, but I find myself meaningless. So if you look at, we all talk about body, mind, soul, right? So at the level of body, first thing is I feel that I'm no more the same as it was, right? Then in the mind, I start questioning my relevance. Am I relevant? in what I do? Am I relevant as a father? Am I relevant as a husband? Am I relevant as a professional? It's not just about work. At the level of soul, the question is about meaning. Like, for example, there is this concept called, yeah, fundamental concept of motivation theory. I have problem with names of, yeah. So what it says is you have physiological needs, then safety needs, blah blah blah. The top need is self-actualization needs, right?
It's I think it's Maslow's theory of hierarchy.
Perfect. So suddenly in midlife, all the four levels are done, right? Slap comes. What is your self-actualization? Then I'm wondering, have I lived a meaningful life? So that's the fundamental question.
True, 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 true. So you need to accept that change is only constant, and you live the life with the you need to flow with the life and accept it and go with the flow. That's the
Yeah,
beauty of it.
yeah.
Yes. So when we have seen the causes and symptoms of mid-career crisis, then the big question is, or fundamental question is, what can be done about it?
Okay. Okay. The first idea is going to be crazy. Okay. You have to slow down. So when I say slow down, when you are running, right? You have to stop running and look inside. Because this crisis is happening not because of the world. It is happening because of inside. So that is the first thing people have to do. If they don't do, they will run. And they'll run forever. Yeah. So that is in some sense very, very different. Not different, very, very opposite to the way we live life. Yeah. What it means is to just do nothing and observe your own thoughts, observe what is happening to you, and answers come. Like, I don't know, in Sanskrit, there's a word called asariri, right? Asariri, which means there is no body, but the voices come, right? You will get your answers when you're in that place. Second, I think is fundamentally you have to repurpose. Because the thing, if you look at even in Hinduism, India, we talk about, right? Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, right? So it's not a sannyasa, but still each of this phase has a reason and a purpose, right? When I say repurpose, it is not about anything else. Repurpose is asking oneself a question: Why am I born? Yeah. And what am I going to do to this world? Because by then you have made money, right? So the whole question is about why do I live? What do I want to? What is the difference I want to make to the world? And and it's a very very fundamental question. And there are times I have done this with people. Some people don't get it, okay, because they are stuck. At least understand what is one thing or two things you're passionate about. If you don't find the purpose, find what you're passionate about. Yeah. And then once you do this, it's scary, right?
Very scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have done work with people who became organic farmers, left jobs went and did organic farming. Okay. And sometimes my clients hate me for this because I have asked them to leave their jobs. I didn't, but they chose. But the key thing here is when you make the shift, right, you have to have an ecosystem of people who will support you. Because it's a huge, it's not a transition, it's a transformation, right? I'm a software engineer, I'm going to become a organic farmer, right? So you need people to hold you. You have to connect to an ecosystem that will support, right? And the next thing is what I want to tell. It's very interesting. Okay, I've worked with a lot of friends and consultants in US. I know somebody, very close friend of mine. He has had three careers.
Wow.
Started as an engineer, then from engineering he went into becoming a management. No, not even. No, he went into becoming a lawyer.
Wow.
Finally, he does what I do. He has become a coach. Do you see any connection to these three roles?
All three are different. Yeah.
Absolutely, Chris. Yeah, but that is because the economy is evolved economy, and they have no insecurity about I have to fund my child and I have to take care of my three generations. None of that exists. But the key thing is it is accepted in that society. But today, if you ask me, I have seen people, I worked with even people who are in 30s, saying that I will quit. I will go and do mountaineering in India. Okay, software engineer, excellent architect, 30 players saying, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go and do mountaineering in Himalayas.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's possible, right? And the next thing is, see, this is all perfect solutions. But one solution which works for people who do not want to take such a nonsensical jump, right, is to look at the current role from the perspective of the purpose, which is just mind juggling. But then you don't feel down and you don't feel anxious, you don't feel bad. Okay. But the amazing thing I can tell you is I have seen many people doing this. There are people now I know who believe in education or alleviating poverty, right? They are still in the same company, same role. Weekends, they go and do that. And then I know somebody who did weekend, slowly cut, it became full. So all these are possibilities.
You need to you need to start with baby steps.
Yeah.
So add-on question to is that uh, how I can realize that what I am doing is not something, is not of my passion. Then how I can find out my passion? What are the ways one can find out the passion?
See, there are a lot of methods. Okay. There is something called strength finder, which is Gallup. Okay. Apart from that, speak to somebody like me for 90 minutes. I'll be able to understand, not not understand. I'll be able to make you understand what you're really passionate about. Like for example, I do what is called personal mastery coaching, which is nothing but finding your purpose and vision. See,
Wow.
the reason is, see, the problem is we are, we as a society is do what my father wants, what my mother wants, what my neighbor wants, right? I'm in some sense luckily I didn't have that. Otherwise, I don't think 25 would have become a concept. So the whole issue is we are working, we are pleasing or we are living within social norms, right? But social norms is not what it is. Your purpose is your purpose and it's so unique. Okay.
Right.
But the key thing is somewhere from childhood you are ingrained to run the normal path, right? So, so only way is to have, see, the moment you find you are there in that place where you are not enjoying, see, simple. I am not enjoying what I do 8 hours. You don't need anything else. Okay, that's a data to tell you you have to relook at your life and your career. Then you have to find somebody to have a conversation, right? Because see, our brain thinks, but our brain thinks better in the presence of somebody else. So, so yeah. So I'm saying, right? I have done so much work on this, and I'll tell you a joke. Okay, I work. Even now, it's a client. Okay, long-term clients. I do a session on personal visioning and personal purpose. So the CEO of the company says, Raja, this time don't do personal visioning. I asked him why. People will quit. Yeah,
There is a fear of losing someone.
yeah, which is very true. But at the same time, I worked with companies whenever I've done personal visioning, very clearly saying that if I do personal visioning, you will lose people. And the CEOs say that is good. They will go and do what they have to do.
Instead of doing, something half-heartedly, it's better to let them go. Let them become our brand ambassador.
Yeah. So that's my answer. I think I went too long with this
Yeah, yeah,
question
that's pretty good. So,
because it,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
This,
see, let me tell you something. I don't know. It's coming to me. Uh, are we on time or are we overdoing time?
yeah, yeah. We have time. We have time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm talking all these theories, right? So when I was 29 and my father died, and I come from a business family. My father had multiple retail businesses in Kerala. Okay, and my mother. I'm the first. I'm the only son. So
Wow.
I went back from my consulting because I also believed when your energy is death, don't do work.
True.
So I went back, and then my father, when he died, in a single night, 10,000 people came. Okay, and I think I will speak about him more than me. I remember when I joined him in his business when I was 20. I had a lot of difference with him, and I was challenging him, saying that you made money, you have thrown money, you don't have, blah, blah, blah. He told me something very interesting. He said, I came with one cloth bag, with one extra clothes. Go and look at how many clothes you have. Don't challenge. And then he said, all that I want. Okay, when I talk about purpose, even before I knew theory, I by then I knew theories. He said he is a second class educated businessman. Okay, he said he said all that I want is when I die, 100 people who's not my family will cry. Which means he spent money, did everything. Okay, and Vipul, I'm not joking. When he died, I was not there. I was in Chennai. He was in Kerala. My mother tells a story. Many, he was not an MP, MLA, none of those nonsense, right? He was a plain businessman in a small village in Kerala. 10,000 people came.
Oh my God, that's something he has proved his life.
So when I say you have to repurpose, right? We are all born with a unique purpose. Because of social conditions, family, society, we go in a different path. The moment we hit our kind of life, suddenly that starts biting you. Yeah? So, taking off from there, after that experience, when I was in 29, I remember I went back to my family business because I'm the oldest son. I'm the only son. And whoever came, I used to sit in the shop, father's photo behind. People will come and cry. Minimum 10 fellows will cry every day. Okay. And I used to tell them that there is no meaning to life. I used to tell them, today I understand it's depression. Okay? And I had this great friend who's my father's and my friend who said, why don't you go and read Karma Yoga? I came from Ramakrishna Mission School. I read Karma Yoga, didn't make sense. I read Jnana Yoga, not even full book. Okay? Jnana Yoga is about knowing myself. And now from 29 to 56, this is all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. You're doing what you love to do. That's something amazing.
But but the problem is it's not that easy to find. Okay. I work with so many people. Finding purpose is so difficult, but at least finding passion is possible. Right?
True.
I want to run. Run. Like the work you do, I remember speaking to somebody very interesting. You do recruitment, right? I used to work with a company for a very short time. I asked that girl, very, very young girl, okay? Very young girl, she might have been 20s. And I was in OD training, which is considered whatever, right? I said, what do you love about this work? She said, I am creating opportunities for people to have livelihood and meaning. Meaning. She was 22 maximum. So then recruitment doesn't look like some shitty job, right?
True, indeed.
Yeah. So
Agree.
when you talk about this purpose, right? I'll just stop with this. There is a format to write up even a purpose. Okay. What will I do? Part one. For whom? Last part is what is the positive difference that will happen for them?
Wow, that's well
Hmm.
defined.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So end result matters. What difference
No, it
you
is for
create.
them. It is not for you. I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
make money is not the purpose.
What you are delivering, what changes you are bringing in them, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we will move to one of the final question from my end. What kind of support is available in India to deal with this mid-career crisis?
Okay, the first thing I have seen with people I have worked with is they have people from their bracket, right? Suppose I'm a IT engineer, okay? I'm not, right? And I became whatever I became, and then what next? So there are people who have done this, right? Because this is a reality. People have done it well, right? So reaching out to those kind of people is one part. Okay? Second part is I've seen if you look at all of our life, we have mentors, right? My previous boss, I don't have a boss, right? Typically in a company, my first boss is still my mentor, whoever, right? Somebody who has gone through, who can help me to think is the second. Okay. The next one is you have to pay money. There are counselors who do this work, and therapists and coaches. Yeah. And yeah, counselors and therapists are cheap, coaches are costly.
So
But
you
the
need
key
to
thing
have.
is, but the key thing is you have to, before reaching to any of them, you have to be, you don't need to be sure. You need to be at least sure about your symptoms. Yeah,
That's really important, that you need to sure about your symptoms and
yeah.
taking help of
Because
some.
otherwise, you see, if, for example, I can tell you, Vipul, um, now all the individual coaching I have done with people, say last 10, 15 years, they will say this person, company is the person who's paying, right? They'll say this person has to become assertive, this person, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The moment I know 45 to 55, it's midday craze. I'm not joking.
True.
It's so much. I'm not asserting because I'm fearful I'm irrelevant. Damn thing is, it's like, I only thing I'll ask HR is, what is the age group?
So taking help of mentors, like you said coaches, consultants and therapists are available, but before that, taking help of any mentor or any senior colleague or any any senior person, can it be helpful to know the symptoms or to know the that you are in the crisis?
See, the answer that comes to me is that it should not be the same a person from the same company.
Okay,
Yeah,
to have a neutral response
it's not.
by.
Even inside company, somebody who doesn't want you to leave the company.
Okay, practical answer. True,
Surely not a HR person.
true.
Because you need a person who's very neutral to look at your reality.
Very true.
So mentor can be somebody who you worked with in the past and somebody who was your first boss also. if you had a great boss, first boss. If you had a great first boss, he is the perfect person.
Wow. But yeah, it surely can help you.
No, that's the best place without money helps. Okay.
True, true, true.
But the problem is they are not skilled with helping. Right? They can only share their life. But will they be able to find a purpose for you and all? No. That's where
True,
you
true.
go to a professional.
Very true, very true. Yeah, so that was interesting, amazing. We got to know so many things about what mid-career crisis is and how to deal with it. So, what will be your final words, your concluding notes? How we would like to summarize this?
Ha. All of us will go through this. Or whoever is going through this is going through this. Seek
So,
help. Seek help. That's all.
be ready for it and seek help.
Don't see the problem is you don't deny, right? Don't live in illusion that I can do every damn thing.
Not possible. True.
When you go through this part, you really need help. Your
True.
see the problem is your mind is in fix, your body is in fix, your soul is in fix. Whatever you think is going to go shit.
Very true. Yeah. So that's well said. Well concluded. Be ready for change and ask for help. So yes, audience. Hope the session will be helpful to you and you can connect with uh, Mr. Raja Chidambaram and on LinkedIn and you can ask for his help. He'll be happy to help you. And with that note, thank you very much once again for delivering this amazing session and sharing your life learning lessons and sharing your journey. So that was amazing. Wishing you the best and stay blessed. And hope to see you again on our expert talk show with some different interesting topic as you are in the coaching and you comes up with different examples and real life stories. So would like to see you again, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Stay blessed. Take care.
So let me say something in my mother tongue,
Yeah,
and
please
I'll
go.
translate it in English. Nandri Magilchi. Hmm? This is in Tamil. What it means is I'm grateful
In
for
fact,
this opportunity and I'm happy.
sir, pleasure is all mine, sir. Pleasure is all our. We
No,
are.
people, when you asked me, I was wondering what are we going to do, right? I feel blessed. You asked me. How
Thank you
many
so
people
much.
see or nobody sees also it doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, this session will be there on YouTube forever. So I'm
No, no,
sure
no.
it will be helpful.
I'm saying that you help me to share what I have, right? Even no person looks at it. I'm bluntly saying, right? Impression, all this social media fraud has no meaning, right?
True that. True, true,
Yeah.
true. Very true.
It's all about human connection we form.
Yeah, I just loved it, sir, and that's touched my heart and honored to have you, sir. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Keep smiling and uh, keep doing wonderful activities and initiatives which you are doing. So
Yeah.
hope to see you again. Thank you so much, sir. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Take care. Yeah. Yes, audience, I'm sure you would have enjoyed this session and you would got so much from the session. So hope to see you again on our expert talk show. We used to do it every weekend and this week I'm after vacation I'm coming. I've taken a break of 1 month and I'm coming I've started this after 1 month. So we have 3 sessions consecutively. Today we have one, tomorrow we will have another one, and day after tomorrow we will have third session. So 3 sessions in a week. Otherwise we used to do it once a week, every weekend, every Friday, 8 p.m. But just to compensate my gap, I am doing it 3 sessions consecutively. So see you tomorrow 8 p.m. on our expert talk show. Subscribe my channel, follow me on LinkedIn, and you can follow our expert to get the benefit, to get the connection with them. So audience, this session was powered by Post Resume HR Consultancy. You can visit our website postresume.co.in to get to know more, to connect with us. We would be happy to help you. With that note, stay blessed, keep smiling, and